But so I spent another 4 years in the Ottawa, which they call almost the coldest capital city in the whole world.
Second to
Ulaanbaatar.
Oh, Ulaanbaatar.
Mongolia.
In Mongolia.
Yeah. So when I recall vividly, a relaxing note. Shortly after I set up, the office in Ottawa, my Canadian friends asked me. It's rather, it's a rhetorical question. Mr. Chao, how do you like our winter? Because it's very cold, severe cold. And I say, I know what the kind of answer they expect from me. I say, well, I rather enjoy the pride of being able to survive your winter. They asked me, did you enjoy our winter? I said, well, enjoy the pride of being able to survive the winter. But that was a very very interesting part of my career time.
Yeah. Well, it seems like over the kind of training that you had, besides, what was it, dancing and what was the other thing you said? I think you also learned etiquette, and then especially in your speech. I mean, it seems like you hang the word humble in like every other sentence that you've spoken. But I'm sure also on top of that, you've learned a lot of things about maybe even like looking for a house and I mean looking for a house for the representative. And you had to take into consideration a lot of conditions and things that you need to take into consideration. Apparently you spent quite a cold winter with your wife looking for just the right house. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Because Canada and Taiwan, we haven't had any relations whatsoever ever since 1970.
Right.
Until 1992, 22 years later, when I got there. It's a huge gap. It's a large, empty part of, the 22 years of the bilateral relations. So I had to start everything from scratch, including, finding an office, also as well as finding a residence for our representative, the next representative. I was not a representative. I was junior liaison officer. Yeah, but it took me some time, and it really, I had to be thankful to my wife.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And also, I had to be thankful to my Canadian counterparts. They helped me a lot. The Canadians are great people. They are very accommodating and very considerate. So I set up this residence of our representative. It's located in the core center of diplomatic area, surrounded by a lot of other countries' ambassadors' residence, including the Japanese one and the British one. So it's very, prestigious location. The house itself was very costly, but well, thank God, I tried very hard. I was a tough negotiator. I saved our country's budget a lot.
Yeah.
So I got a good deal, good bargain. And then after they changed the ownership to our government for this house, and the price was rising up. So now I was told
now it's priceless.
Yeah, well, according to the words of our representatives in the past 20-some years, they have seemed to enjoy the residence a lot, and the profit making as well. So I found it very comfortable. I didn't screw up my mission. Yeah.
Yeah, you always take your mission to heart in everything that you do.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what are some of the things that you consider when you go looking for an office or a residence? I mean, what kind of things do you take into consideration you were told to watch out for? Was there anything? I'm really curious.
Well, a budget is one thing, of course. But also you have to think about, how Taiwan's image can be promoted.
That is the main thing, isn't it?
That's right, major concern. We have to uphold the Taiwan's image, which is a trading power, economic powerhouse in the Far East. And Taiwan, is coming back to Canada. So I keep a lot of things in mind. I think you're right. I'm myself, I'm a Virgo. Virgo is always, it's not quite a popular.
What, perfectionist?
Detail-oriented.
Okay.
Whatever mission I was given, I always try to get on with it heart and soul, heart and hand, full-heartedly. So I like to provide this reference for our government, which is going to be A+, number one, in terms of the location, in terms of the symbolic, significance, and also the price is reasonable. So I think I found myself very lucky. Of course, without the helps of my colleagues and my Canadian friends, I couldn't have done it. So I have to be thankful. The credit should be theirs, not mine.